Pieces are an example of a first-class lever, with the fulcrum being in the middle, the effort being the handles in my hands, and the blades being the resistance.
So this stapler is an example of a second-class lever, with the fulcrum on the end, the resistance force being the paper, and the effort being the pressure applied down to staple your paper.
This broom is an example of a third-class lever, with the fulcrum being at the top, the effort force being in the middle, and the resistance being at the bottom. In order for this to work, I put my hand, the effort force, down, and the resistance force exerts force on the ground, on the object, which in this case is the ground.
This is an example of a fixed pulley. A pulley is a grooved wheel with a rope or chain running along the groove. By pulling down on this side, the shade moves down. By pulling down on this side, the shade moves up.
These steps are an example of an inclined plane, a sloped surface used to raise an object. It makes work easier by increasing the distance and decreasing the force.
This doorknob is an example of a wheel and axle. A wheel and axle consists of two wheels of different sizes that rotate together. When I spin this wheel, a smaller wheel inside the door will turn, and that lets you open up the door.
This hand sanitizer is an example of a screw. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped around a cylindrical post. You can see the grooves, and when you screw it down, then you can use it.
A wedge is an inclined plane of one or two sloping slides. This pencil case's zipper is an example of a wedge because it moves back and forth between the objects. This is our Rube Goldberg machine. Our first step is to cut this rubber band with scissors, which is an example of a first-class lever. The car will propel down this ramp, which is the second step, and is also an example of an inclined plane. The car will then roll down this second inclined plane, which is our third step. Our fourth step is the car hitting these other cars. Our fifth step is these cars hitting that car. Our sixth step is that car hitting the marble and causing it to go down this, between these rulers, which is the seventh step and is also an example of a wedge. And then an eighth step is the ball going into the bucket.